time. Anyway. When will you do Ukraine coverage? I've seen 30 news articles about escalating crisis in the Western media. I'm seeing some worrying comments from people. I don't have any. I already did my Ukraine coverage. I said, don't do it. Don't invade the Ukraine, sir. Don't you do it. Here's the 1 minute ad break now, by the way. Also, thank you, Stained Glass Girl, for the 10 gifted. And thank you, Grayson Gregory, for the 5 gifted. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Thank you, Cool is Not Eric, for the 5 gifted as well. So, I just I hate talking about fucking foreign policy because it always resorts to people who personally do not have a vested interest in any meaningful capacity, but they lose their shit. You know what I mean? They lose their shit over it, and they talk about it as though it's the most pressing matter. If you don't want serious agitation, if you don't want serious issues in Ukraine, then stop giving them fucking guns. Okay, stop giving Ukraine guns, which is what the American government is doing. And also on top of that, stop trying to get him to fucking join NATO. You know, I don't know what else to say about it. But Americans, or at least the American State Department, doesn't give a shit. They want to agitate Russia, and Russia in and of itself is nothing. They're bitch made. They got nothing. They got nothing. Okay? Dude, you are totally off with this. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And even if you're a Ukrainian, you're a dumb bitch if you think that America is actually on your fucking side, okay? Ask the Kurds. Literally, look at what they did to the Kurds. America just uses supposed fucking, anti-authoritarian forces as a cudgel, as a weapon, okay, for a brief moment, and then they throw it down like the fucking Woody meme. I don't want to play with you no more. And then you just get fucking rolled, okay? You can say it's insane all you fucking want, but it's just the truth, okay? You're stupid. What do? You come in here and you learn about how America fucking fought against the USSR by literally beefing up the Mujahideen, and how that led to the collapse in Afghanistan, and how that quite literally led to 9/11. And you celebrate, and you celebrate knowing that reality that other people don't know about, okay? You make jokes about it, you fucking meme about it, but then you turn around and when it's happening right in front of your eyes in Ukraine, you're like, no, that's actually good. Because you're a dumbass. You are a dumbass. Just like every other American is a dumbass. You think you're smarter because in your mind you have this empathetic point of view. You think oh no, I empathize with the people of Ukraine. We should arm them. We should give them guns and they should fight back against the Russian forces. It's they have a pretty big military. They have a pretty solid military. They should be the first fucking line of defense against Russia. And it's no, dude, how do you not realize that we're doing the same shit, but in Ukraine now, that we were doing in fucking Afghanistan and everywhere else? So it's so funny when you're oh man, I have the benefit of hindsight. I have the benefit of hindsight. I have the benefit of knowledge on all these complex geopolitical conditions when we're covering it fucking 30, 40 years prior and how it impacts contemporary society. Okay? But you don't know how to apply it to the shit that's happening in front of you. What's wrong with you, man? What the fuck? Think about it. Think. You think Ukraine wants to fight a war? No, they don't. That's the other part of it. They don't. Look, Ukrainian people do not want to fucking fight against the Russian government. The Russian government does not want to fucking fight. It's in no one's interest. But there are people here that I don't know if you're a fucking dick skin lanyard shithead that lives in fucking DC or something, or you're working I don't know, for the State Department or something, but you're just you're literally come on, bro, let's get a good war in. Let's get a good war in. Don't worry, it's not going to happen. Joe Biden's not going to do it. They're just fucking agitating you in the media for it, okay? And they're going to keep pumping you. They're going to keep pumping you and gassing you until you're let's go. We got to liberate Ukraine, brother. Yeah. Meanwhile, you live in fucking West Virginia. Why the fuck do you care about Ukraine or Russia, okay? No, you're just told you need to care about it. Yeah, the original chatter literally said, I've seen 30 Western media stories about it. Exactly. That's why. That's why you care about it. Okay? Do I think it's okay for Russia to go in and fucking, you know, do a full wipe? Which they're not going to do. But do I think it's okay for, like, Vladimir Putin to be like, yeah, we're taking over Ukraine? No, of course not. They shouldn't. Okay? What can I do about it? Nothing. Don't do it. Okay? Don't you do it. Here, I'm wagging my fucking finger. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because if you ask Vladimir Putin, he says, I'm not going to do it. It's not in my interest. If you ask the Ukrainian people, they say, well, it's not in our interest. I hope it doesn't happen. Vladimir Putin says, I don't want to do it as long as, you know, you're not fucking forcing Ukraine to join the NATO or you're not giving Ukraine weapons to fight against or push back against, like, you know, the Russian forces that aren't even there yet. Okay? And then Joe Biden turns around and says, we're not going to invade. We're not going to invade, Jack. We're not going to fight back, Jack.
Hope you enjoyed your basketball stream.
Even if Vladimir Putin goes in there, we're not going to fight back. And then he doubles down, or instead of doubling down, he immediately corrects the record. Jen Psaki comes in the next day and says, actually, that's not true. We will fuck up Russia if they, you know, put boots on the ground military warfare. What does shit take? Everything I've said so far is descriptive. Everything I've described to you so far is just an accurate assessment of what's going on, okay? Vladimir Putin did claim in the talks that they had that they have no interest in invading Ukraine, okay? That they have no interest in invading Ukraine. They simply just don't want America to keep agitating Ukraine. They do not want America to keep arming Ukrainian soldiers and also saying that they're not interested in invading Ukraine as long as Ukraine doesn't become a part of NATO. Joe Biden's like, no, fuck that. Ukraine should be a part of NATO, okay? And, well, technically Joe Biden didn't say that, to be fair. Joe Biden has said both of those things. He's both said Ukraine can become a part of NATO if they want to, and also Ukraine won't become a part of NATO. Don't worry about it. But Joe Biden has also said, we will never fucking, you know, do boots on the ground military warfare, even if Russia invades, okay, Ukraine. And then he actually did say, I don't know why Hasan just believes Putin. I don't. But the difference between me and you is that, like, you, for some weird reason, believe the American State Department. I don't believe Putin as much as I don't believe the American State Department. That's the difference. I just look to the genuine interest that people have in the region, okay? It's so strange when people are like, why do you take Putin at his at face value? Of course I don't, dude. He's fucking KGB Andy. You guys are so stupid. But that's precisely why I'm just, yeah, they're going to fucking do the same shit with China, Taiwan too. That's precisely why I'm saying, like, there's nothing you and I can do except get fucking mad and, like, eat popcorn and watch, like, a supposed war happen, okay? Sorry. Hasan is so gullible. Yeah, dude. You, on the other hand, wait, let me read this. Let me read some of your non-gullible takes, dude. Okay? What does shit take? Accurate in what sense? Russia already has soldier stations on the Ukraine border. Hasan is so gullible. It's okay to exploiting people when it doesn't harm them, lol W. Dude, you on the other hand, man, you are so good. Imagine China, Taiwan is number one. Imagine defending China, lol W. A second explosion heard in Kabul. This guy quite literally only comes in here whenever I'm talking about fucking foreign policy and exclusively takes the American State Department position on every issue, I think, which is very cool. Thank you for not being gullible. You know, see you in 25 years when we talk about how maybe it wasn't the best idea to do what we did. You know? Except you won't learn then either. You'll just, like, because the goal is not about, like, the actual fucking, the goal is never about, like, the actual things that are going on. In the end, you can, that's the reason why CIA declassifies shit 20 years, 30 years later. They'll declassify it and they'll be like, oopsie, yeah, we did do that. Remember that thing that we said was a conspiracy theory? Actually, it wasn't a fucking conspiracy theory. We quite literally did that. Oopsie. What are you going to do about it? 25 years later, it's declassified, right? But it doesn't matter. Even in the process of declassifying that information, they're continuing to say it's a conspiracy theory. The exact same shit that they're doing right now. I normally side with you, Hasan, but I really disagree this time. Yeah, you disagree because you're an empathetic individual. You disagree because you are a liberal. You disagree because ultimately American liberalism is very powerful. It's very good at, like, you know, tugging at your heartstrings to make you feel like American imperialism is the only way to fight against, like, Russian imperialism. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's like Russian imperialism. It's true. That's what Russia is trying to do. They're trying to protect their regional authority, their regional security, right? Their autonomy in the region. They are a regional leader. That's what big countries do. Okay? Straight up. And it's not okay. But America should have no business in trying to fight back against that. And the only reason why America has a business in fighting back against that is straight up so they can, you know, keep selling guns and keep dominating the world and keep fucking prodding back against other countries that also want to become, you know, global competitors, which they will never become global competitors. And the reason why they'll never become global competitors is because, like, Russia's bitch made. You know what I mean? Maybe if the fucking polar ice caps melt and they find, like, some, you know, juicy natural resources under it or some shit and figure out a way to capture it, maybe then. But until then, you know, they're bitch made. Okay? And if Ukraine wants to join another sphere of influence, why should it not be able to do that? The sphere of influence is exclusively to, like, fucking flex Western imperialism. So it fucking frustrates me. Its existence frustrates me. It's literally a fucking...
Shout out to
look,
their families.
If you yourself call yourself a fucking leftist, okay, and you're like, oh, I'm a leftist, like, I believe that, like, American imperialism needs to stop. You can't be fucking pro-NATO. If you understand that the American government is running a protection racket, okay, in the form of building fucking military bases all around the world, selling guns to all those countries, and then, you know, sometimes those guns have to be used, and then, oh, you use those guns against someone, and they got pissed, so now they're fucking fighting back. Well, then, now you need more guns, and you need more protection. If you recognize that as a leftist or as a progressive, okay, you can't just look back at moments throughout time when they've done it and be like, yeah, that was really fucked up 30 years later, but when it's happening right in front of your eyes, go, nah, actually, it is good. It is good that they're doing it now. It was bad when they did it back then, but it's good now. It's not. It's not. NATO is a ridiculous fucking coalition. It's a completely ridiculous coalition. Okay? Like, how the fuck are you going to be a pro-NATO leftist, dude? Jesus Christ. The same shouters who call us tankies are now cheering for war with Russia. So predictable. Like, yeah, what's gonna happen? And, like, I get it. It's very good. It's, like, very successful to, like, feel that way because you're like, well, the big bad wolf of Russia, that they're doing the bad things. Okay, is the best way to fight back against the bad guys over there by being bigger bad guys over here? Really? Is that what you think?
10 months of knowing that I'm being exploited.
You're coming in as a baby leftist to one of the largest openly socialist fucking broadcasts in the world and caping for a fucking Western imperialist institution specifically designed and created to enact ideological warfare against any kind of fucking communist development around the world. What a strange world do we live in, like, where people are just like, I'm a fucking pro-NATO socialist. Like, well, okay.
Yo,
sick.
What's up, Mr.
No,
Hasan?
I'm a pro-NATO socialist. That's why I think it's cool when, like, I don't know, like, fucking Norwegian and British forces are, like, also killing 14-year-olds in Afghanistan. We had to do that. That was a thing that had to happen. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. No, dude, guys, I fucking love NATO. It's sick. It's so important to do. Okay? I hope you know there are going to be 20-year-old foreign relations experts who will make 12 videos because of this take. Yeah, I don't care. I know. Every time I say anything about fucking foreign relations, like, they lose their shit. Here, let me do the fucking brief summary of that for them, okay? Here's the take. I am going to write a video essay about how bad this take is because Vladimir Putin is homophobic. He's horrible. He's authoritarian. He is jailing fucking protesters, all of which is true, by the way. Okay, all of that's true. He arms the fucking Chechens. He 100% is like totally aligned with some of the worst fucking authoritarian leaders. Okay, straight up. Still, all of that is true. Okay, and then in this entire conversation, I will be avoiding what America is doing. Like, while talking about what Russia is doing, I will be avoiding quite literally what America does, which is exactly what I'm talking about with Russia, but like at a 10x level globally, okay? And in areas where they have no business being in. At least Russia is doing it in their own fucking, region. Whereas, which doesn't make it better, don't get me wrong, but it certainly is like more understandable than fucking America doing it in Ukraine, you know what I mean? It's not whataboutism. Like, the United States is significantly worse on all of these fucking issues. It's just so ridiculous. Like, if you think like, oh my God, Russian imperialism is happening, and then you totally fucking have like this major blind spot to like the American imperialist forces that are the only way to supposedly stop Russian imperialism from happening. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Anyway.
Prison is exactly like prison. # I didn't read Foucault.
Is this your Marxist-Leninist arc? I mean, it's not. It's not my Marxist-Leninist arc at all. I just think it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous that, like... It's ridiculous that we, okay, as supposedly progressive individuals, comprehend, okay, that American imperialism is bad and wrong, but then, like, oh, but in a lot of instances, it's actually okay to do. Like, I have no business telling Russia what they can't do, because I can't stop that, okay? Here, I said it again. I will say it again. Don't invade Ukraine, please. Vladimir Putin, what are you doing? Okay? I care more about what we do, because we are the most powerful country on the planet, okay? We're the most powerful country on the planet, and like what we are doing is so much worse than any other country. If you're crying and complaining about like what Russia might do to Ukraine, first of all, in like 90% of circumstances, unless you're like quite literally Ukrainian or something, okay, you just don't give a shit. You are conditioned into giving a shit about it, and that's the reason why you're talking about it non-fucking stop, because every dumbass media outlet that you read is telling you like it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up what's going on. We got to defend Ukraine. Anyway. Am I crazy, or do we used to call it the Ukraine? Just calling it Ukraine sounds weird to me. I hate these takes. Imperialism sucks no matter who it is. Nationalism, blinders suck. I'm going to check out the stream later because this is frustratingly mind-numbing from the chatters. I mean, imperialism sucks no matter who it is, Desert Grizzly Arc, but like, I think a lot of people just don't understand that Russia wants to go back to like Cold War profiteering. Putin has been super open about how much better they did during that era. US sees money everywhere. They want to take money. Oh, you're not. I think a lot of people don't understand that to base our laws and okay. So I can't tell. I can't understand what you're saying. I thought you were going to be like, no, but it's. Oh, the chat is numbing their brain. Yeah, it's just like. You said some days ago people have the same culture in the same country in Austria, Germany, South Korea, North. Why not Ukraine and Russia? What's the difference? I mean, people will get mad at me, but I don't,
Nummy.
Ukrainian here, it's basically a lose-lose situation no matter what for Ukraine, but people in general are terrified of Russia, especially those close to the border. I have family about 40 kilometers from the Russian border in Kharkov, so if there is an invasion, I don't think there will be one, then they're basically the first in the danger zone, and that scares me. Why don't these people voice the same sentiments about Georgia's occupation? Because they don't give a shit. They don't care. It's what they are conditioned into caring about. Okay? And that's precisely why no one fucking talks about Saudi Arabia. Like, no one talks about Saudi Arabia. That's precisely why, like, whenever we're talking about fucking Ukrainian independence, like, it's just all centered around, like, how much America could help Ukraine. And all that help is just, aiding and abetting and warmongering at the behest, like, that will risk Ukrainian lives, okay? so that what, Ukrainian politicians could get more fucking money by joining NATO and get more guns by joining NATO? Sick, dude. So stupid.
Pogo.
So imperialist America shouldn't have stopped Nazi aggression into Europe. If you are making a comparison to what the Nazis did, like what Germany did to current modern day Russia, doing to Ukraine potentially, that hasn't happened yet, I don't know what to tell you. You are lost in the sauce so aggressively.
Thanks,
Okay, you're just a stupid person. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, straight up, Ukrainians don't even fucking agree with you, most likely, unless they're like bananas. Anyway, we're going to look at the anti-vax rally now. The USSR did 70% of the work. Yeah, I know. By the way, they sold us that World War II shit in Iraq and Afghanistan. State Department get new material challenge. They can't, because the American military is designed to get fucking owned, okay? It's a meat grinder that straight up kills a lot of young men and women or fucks them up irreparably. That's the goal. America is not trying to win wars, okay? They're trying to get their fucking shit pushed in so they can have like these insane, unjustifiable 20-year, 30-year fucking conquests in countries that have natural resources that you can extract, okay, that you can control, where you can use the natural resources in all the instances to operate fucking, you know, JSOC operations that you wouldn't be able to fund otherwise with taxpayer dollars, because despite the fact that there's 35 fucking trillion dollars missing from the Pentagon budget, even then it would be a little too much. It would be too easy to fucking figure out accountability on the accounting side if they were just straight up fucking arming every paramilitary death squad. Even though in Ukraine we quite literally have actually armed paramilitary death squads like the Azov Battalion, which was comprised of Nazis. That's right. It was so fucked up that in our endless effort to make sure that Ukraine has autonomy, we funded actual Nazi troops in Ukraine. That's true. It's so true that the American government actually, which then posed with the Azov Battalion, okay, which went and like fucking Amy Klobuchar and you know, rest in piss John McCain, went and fucking hung out with the Azov Battalion, okay, took photos with them because, you know, that's our bipartisan compromise. We're always bipartisan when it comes to fucking, you know, arming other countries and like doing more war shit, okay? They said, oopsie, I know we gave them guns and training, and I know we fucking took photos with them, but actually, oopsie doopsie, we are going to now we're going to carve a specific piece of legislation where we're like, we're still going to give Ukraine guns, we're still going to train Ukrainians, but also this time we're going to fucking, you know, not give it to the Nazis. That's an actual piece of legislation. For those of you who did not know, there's a piece of legislation that specifically dictates we will not be arming Nazis in Ukraine. So it's just stupid. Like, I don't know. But hey, dude, don't worry. 30 years from now, there will be another fucking HasanAbi, okay? A Zoomer. Talking about how fucked up it was that, like, we just let Nazis fucking take control of the Ukrainian military and which the Azov Battalion was integrated into. And that now, like, you know, those countries are all way worse overall. And now we just have, like, ongoing proxy wars in all of these other fucking countries, and how fucked up that is, because like now in the United States of America, there's a new fucking variant at this point, 30 years in, of COVID that immediately kills you. So now the military is parading in the fucking streets and shooting you on sight if you're coughing, because guess what? You'll never get health care. We're never going to actually do anything to fucking deal with another kind of, you know, pandemic or anything like that. So that's the only way to deal with it. And there will be a HasanAbi out there, okay, 30 years from now, talking about how fucking crazy that was. That you know, we should have known better. given all of the international relations and all the conflicts that we've fucked up for so many years, okay? They're starting already. You have no clue what you're talking about. Being brave means knowing when you fail, you don't fail forever. Lana Del Rey? What the fuck?
How about Ukraine, some bitches?
You have no clue what you are talking about. You're right, dude. I want to leave foreign policy up to the... I'm Ukrainian, happy to see big guns from the USA. Otherwise, we will get invaded. Wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, dude. I love when people come in here, okay, and they just never have ever written anything in the chat. But as soon as I talk about foreign policy, they're like, you're just wrong. I will not elaborate. First of all, the U.S. Army or the government doesn't give a fuck about Ukraine. That doesn't make Putin's hard on for annexing foreign territory permissible. Okay, fine. We're in agreement.
I hope you all have a great day. Hassle.
Anyway.
15 months.
Also, Russia being a superpower in full decline with nukes is still an uneasy situation, but I agree intervention is not ideal. I don't know what kind of appeasement. I don't know if a kind of appeasement is ideal either. No, appeasement is the ideal. What do you mean?
Love you.
You really shouldn't talk about Ukraine. Your take is really dumb. As soon as I start reading the negative chatters, it's like, again, never has said nothing. What the fuck? Russian imperialism, Hasan, you're too deep in this shit. You're disconnected from reality. It takes your argument against is dumb, but your take is also dumb. It's two dumb takes. You should read up on the European perspective of it. Yeah, dude. I should read up on more fucking pro-NATO arguments, dude. It's actually really chill. No, for sure. I absolutely love being like, yeah, it was really fucked up that we like armed these fucking groups that we kept on trying to like an egg on war in different parts of the world. And then oopsie daisy, like we had to go into a war with yet another fucking superpower in the world because like there was no other way to do it. I love talking about fucking how we have 300 goddamn military bases that we know of in every fucking country where they don't actually want us to be there. I love understanding that the American military industrial complex is simply a protection racket, okay? And I love that NATO is straight up an extension of that, okay? Exclusively created to do Western imperialism, and then turning around and being like, I have all of this knowledge, but also what Russia is doing is really fucked up, so we should continue doing what we've been doing. Yeah, let me read up more about like the same exact propaganda that everyone has seen a million times over while I'm trying to counter it as best as possible. I feel like you're avoiding the actual issue here. What is the actual issue?
Hassle.
What the actual issue is what? Ukrainian independence? Is that what you're going to tell me? You think Ukrainian independence is going to be achieved by Americans supporting Ukraine? Like, what are you, fucking stupid?
Joe Byron subscribed for 15 months.
It's been a long time fear in Eastern European countries that Russia will still want their old Soviet bloc back. This has also been happening for decades. This has always been predictable. I think they will invade to get their Russians back who escaped to Ukraine. I know. I see that. Okay, join NATO then. See how well that'll pay. That will be for everybody else. Chat will spam ACAB one day and then hype up a terrorist organization that is NATO. Yeah, just say you don't give a fuck about what NATO and imperialism does to the third world. Yeah, no, it's just like, you know.
Nine-month sub-brain rot incoming.
Just let Russia join NATO like they proposed if NATO is not aligned against Russia. Yeah, it's just so fucking wild. Like, it's just a wild take. What's wrong with giving the Ukraine government guns if it prevents a war? What? When has that prevented a war, dude? Are you fucking stupid? Dude, this guy, are you working for the CIA? What's going on right now? I got like chatters in here being like, what's wrong with giving people more guns to prevent a war? Like that's a thing that always happens. If dudes wrote essays for school instead of Twitch chat, they'd be making money and having bitches instead of being here right now. No, like, bro, if you're gonna fucking do like, you know, if you're gonna do, you know, American State Department propaganda, don't do it for free in here. Like, go to Yale, okay, study up, write the essays that you're writing in the chat, but for your, like, you know, admissions, get into Yale. The CIA will quite literally come to you and say, hey, you know, you seem to be a neurodivergent minor with anxiety and a litany of other like mental health complications. You're perfect. Come join us. You know, we love that shit in the CIA now. This is us. This is the CIA now. Come join us. And then quite literally do this for money. Like, you're doing it for free right now. You might as well get paid for it. The fuck?
Almost 2 years living with brain rot.
Anyway, I mean, this is the same energy as chat being like, no, Havana syndrome is serious. Havana syndrome is a serious issue. You are not allowing CIA operatives to do bodies in spaces. It's their personal experience that you need to fucking, you know, respect and appreciate. It's like, okay, dude, you know, yeah, I guess. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I think it's bullshit, and it was bullshit, and I was fucking right. Okay? What would your stance be on America entering World War II? Genuine question. Are you always pro appeasement? No. But there is a difference, dude. Like, there's a difference between like there's a difference between a world superpower that has like a competitive enough a competitive amount of fucking like actual a competitive amount of actual power that they are enacting already on top of like every other country. Also, the fuck do you mean? It's not like the United States is the reason why World War II ended. It was the fucking USSR. The only reason why there have been a fuckload more wars since the 1940s, but you constantly go back to that, is because that's the one time where we have like an actual normative position on it, okay? Every other one, we took the fucking fattest of L's. We've been riding the wave of World War II since World War II, motherfucker. Everything we've done in the aftermath of World War II has been dog shit. Every single part of it, okay? Literally every single fucking part of it. Chatter's unironically doing Cold War domino theory right now. Yeah. It's just sad. Like, people love being fucking progressive. We're talking about how progressive they are, how much they hate war, and then literally fucking having the same exact opinion as Tucker Carlson on like a lot of these issues, or having the same exact opinion of John Bolton. Maybe not Tucker Carlson, but like John Bolton. You know what I mean? Man, I'm such a fucking, you know, I'm such a progressive, which is precisely why I agree with John Bolton. You know? Anyway, let's see. Let's unite the chat again against fucking dumbass anti-vaxxers. Oh. How is Europe supposed to defend against Russia, though? Dude, if you think Russia has the manpower or the firepower or anything to be able to like invade or attack Europe, you are no different than like the schizophrenic QAnon people, okay? That screech about like psychic vampire pedophiles. Like, you're insane, dude. You're talking about a country that does not have the fucking GDP of like American states, okay? Like, the war hawk propaganda unironically has broken your fucking brain, and it doesn't matter. You could be in Europe and have the same approach as well. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're fucking crazy. It has nukes, bro. So what? Who doesn't have nukes, motherfucker? You know, we constantly talk about it. They have nukes. They have nukes. What do you think? They're going to nuke Europe? Are you fucking stupid? Are you insane? Why would they nuke the people they're selling natural gas to, you fucking dumbass? What the fuck are you talking about? They have nukes, bro. Oh, shit, dude. Yeah, they're just going to go bananas and start nuking motherfuckers. Like, yeah, it's red alert time. It's so dumb. These countries have intricate trade relationships with one another, okay? They're not going to fuck that up. It's the same exact energy as like, oh, man, China. China is so terrifying. We need to go to war with China over Taiwan. It's laughable, okay? It's a laughable fucking approach. You're just like being whipped up into a fucking angry state, specifically at the behest of the State Department by reading too much news, okay? You've read too much in this situation. Like, we are not going to fucking fight against China, which is like something that we are over reliant on for most of our supply chain. I wonder if there's anything going on in Yemen. That hasn't had 30 articles written about it. Yeah, I wonder why. And then people will say, that's whataboutism. It's like, no, it's not, because one is actual fucking famine that we are responsible for, and the other is like, we haven't gotten to that point yet, but we should. Obviously, Russia is not fucking Yemen, so, you know, Ukraine can't do that, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm not running a top of the hour ad, so stop. Tell that to Hong Kong. I know, dude. It was crazy when China overtook Hong Kong, which it was slated to because Hong Kong is part of China. But they did it earlier than the slated time frame that they were supposed to, and then murdered everyone in Hong Kong. Wasn't that crazy when they did that? Remember when they murdered everyone that was living in Hong Kong? Hashtag free Hong Kong. Oh, wait, you can't anymore because everyone died. They killed everyone in Hong Kong. It was crazy. It was so crazy when China used its new nuclear program to nuke Hong Kong, and then we did nothing about it. Oh, wait, that didn't happen. What the fuck?
Trying to explain to
I love people being like, I'm anti-imperialist. That's why I'm against Russian imperialism. But that's precisely why the only reason to stop Russian imperialism is by doing more American imperialism, and then fucking crying about it when the consequences of that 30 years down the line, you know, manifest itself and reared its ugly head. And then you're like, oh, oopsie, yeah, remember, I'm an anti-imperialist. Okay, let's continue. Robert Malone, the anti-vaccine doctor from Joe Rogan's podcast, just opened a speech in front of the Lincoln Memorial by invoking Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech at the March on Washington. Fuck yes. By adding that anti-vax marchers in D.C. today are standing on the shoulders of giants. Did he just cough? Oh no! Homie just started off by coughing. That is not a good sign, okay?
No state governor, no public health official, no television doctor will be there to help you. You, your family, and your child will have to carry the load yourselves.
Aren't there a bunch of neo-Nazis in Ukrainian defense forces? I mean, let's be real. There's fucking neo-Nazis on the Russian side too, okay? Like, what are we gonna just act like, you know, there aren't hella fucking fascists on the Russian side? No, of course not. The difference, of course, is that we're only funding and arming one side's neo-Nazis, but, you know. Damn, Newt Gingrich is looking hot, dude. Newt Gingrich is such a wife guy. I gotta respect him. Anyway, NATO's influence over this issue is really overestimated and overblown by your own State Department. NATO or US ain't going shit. Ain't got shit to say ultimately on this issue and never will. Maidan didn't happen or start because of US or NATO. It's more complex than you think. Okay, but then, you know,
I can't handle this shit anymore.
just say, yeah, we're not going to fucking, we're not going to let, we are not going to let Ukraine join NATO. We're not going to like try to get Ukraine to join NATO. The U.S. picks its neo-Nazi teams very carefully. Western liberals don't realize they're privileged treating other countries as chess pieces. America has never had to face being attacked or having war forced on them in their country. That's why libs love to warmonger. They don't understand what war is. Yeah, exactly.